Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Papa are back here again with you to go over Welcome to Plathville, Season 3, Episode 3.
Hi, y'all.
Ellie and Molly May are here with us as well, so if you hear a little and scratches in the background, that's her trying to be on the podcast too. Oh my goodness. So it opened up with Olivia, of course, and her saying, for the sake of our marriage thriving, we really need to get out of Cairo. That's the only way their marriage can thrive.
I'm kind of blocked out. Olivia.
Oh no. You just like, boo.
We did find something out interesting about Olivia here later on in the episode that we'll get to, though.
Okay.
That actually...
I agree. Yeah, it's very interesting.
That might have a, maybe a reason why she acts the way she does sometimes.
I don't know.
Because I don't think she's dealt with some certain things.
Yeah. So then it shows Mike is skateboarding and telling us he wants to try to be acting. So his agent set him up with I'm sure it's an online acting class at this point with COVID, and a diction coach because he wants to get rid of his accent. And again, I reiterate, like I've said many times before, I don't understand how only the 3 boys
Got accents.
and then no one else in the family really does.
Yeah, Mariah doesn't have one, does she?
They say they don't have friends. They didn't really have outside influences. They didn't have the internet or secular music or anything. So where did they pick up these accents from? That's my question. Okay, anyway.
So Andrew Lincoln had to do that then, didn't he? Probably because, he's English.
Teach him to have Actually, I've read so many articles and seen so many interviews with British people who say that the country accent is the easiest thing for them to do, and that's why it's their kind of go-to American accent when they're imitating Americans, because that's the easiest accent for them to mimic. Just interesting little tidbit.
I know we're not talking about that show, but for real quick, for the accent part of it, Andrew Lincoln, he doesn't have a low voice in real life, all right? But Rick Grimes has a kind of a lower voice, so maybe he had to make his voice low just to get that American accent.
Could be.
Yeah. Have you noticed that though? I mean, and when he has interviews,
I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I know I do.
Pitched.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, we'll go back to this.
It's okay.
Topic.
And he says he's a perfectionist and doesn't want to do anything until he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah.
And Lizard was the same way.
But it looks like that. He's actually getting it. Because when him and
he's
Mariah,
working on it, he's taking it very serious,
and he's taking it all in, because when him and Mariah were actually, when she was helping,
he was telling her lines.
Exactly, yeah, he was on both lines.
Yeah.
So.
But Lizard was the same way. Like, she didn't get officially potty trained until she was like 3.5, and no matter how much we cajoled and bribed and encouraged, she just would not do it. And then one day she says, "I want big girl panties." Because, we've had them in her dresser for over a year and a half, probably, trying to get her to want to wear them.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, and because I'd be like, "You want to wear big girl panties like Sissy, right?" And she'd be like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay." And then one day she says, "I want my big girl panties," and she puts them on and never has an accident.
Well, that seems just like yesterday.
Right? But it's like she didn't want to even,
No, wait, it was yesterday.
It feels like it. But yeah, she didn't want to. She didn't put in, until she had it down, she didn't want to, go there.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that. And then we find out that Mariah is a terrible actress and reader.
At least for right now.
She kind of reminds me of you with the reading. Anything, just tell me what it's about.
The one thing that
you'll send me articles to read so I can tell you what they're about.
The one thing that would keep me away from acting would be the reading the scripts and memorizing them, because I just want to be able to. I don't know how actors do it.
Memorizing it when you're in your 40s and perimenopausal and all the meds I take that do give me a lot of brain fog.
Yeah.
I'm memorizing and remembering things as a thing of the past.
Yeah.
If I don't have a reminder in my phone, it's not going to happen.
But it just amazes me how these actors and actresses now, like on Stays.
Even
Stays
the
alive,
ones
for
that
example.
seem completely dumb
Because it takes,
because that's their like part.
yeah,
They have to be super smart to be able to.
like David Arquette.
Yeah, like you'd think. Well, back in the day, that was his persona. That he put everybody thought he was like big goofball
He
weirdo.
was. He was.
But anyway, we're way off topic.
No, but we're still talking about the acting part. That's why
Yeah.
I brought it up. So
Um,
I just
and
admire them. Sorry.
and then we see Ethan and Olivia's weeds and cacti, and I thought that was a complete great little metaphor for them.
Yeah.
Weeds and cacti. Like, what happened to Ethan being so interested in taking care of his yard?
Ethan's at a bad place right now. So
You think he's got yard sadness?
no, I think he's just got depression in general,
Well, yeah.
and that comes with the yard gets affected, and everything gets affected with
True.
emotion.
Good point. Very good point, Papa. And then we found out that Lydia had plans to come over, but Mom needs the car, so she'll have to drop Lydia off. And because Ethan is going to take Lydia to look at a truck or trucks or whatever.
Did they really? They weren't even together that long, were they? They didn't really hang out that long. I mean, at least not on a show. I mean, because he just took her to one car lot. They went over, looked at one truck. He put a smiley face on it, and then that's it. Then he took her to Mariah. And
Well,
Lucas.
before we even get that far, Ethan and Olivia had this whole paranoia, at least Ethan, the paranoia of she's doing this as a power move and she just wants to be able to come on my property and I don't even want to look at her face. And I'm just like, wow.
Olivia actually took it better than.
And she was like, and this is the thing I want everyone to note here and remember, she says she's okay with her being there as long as there's no contact because, quote unquote, she can't hurt me. Remember that she says this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the drama and of the paranoia and everything, all of a sudden she's okay with it. So something's up. And here's my thing too with that whole conversation. Ethan's vendetta against his mother was more important to him than actually seeing Lydia.
Yeah.
He was going to call the whole thing off.
So he doesn't really care about his siblings, in my opinion. Not to the point.
It
where
certainly doesn't seem that way, does it?
I think he does, but not to the point where he's talking about it on the show. He's just using them as a pawn. I think in this situation, he was hoping that the parents would have caved to him.
Right.
You know, and they didn't, which is good because you shouldn't cave to your kids' demands, right?
Especially when they're being
asses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think that's what that all. It's just that he just got a thing against his mom.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if it's against his dad right now. It's
Which is weird because everything that we talked about before with all the interactions and altercations, they were all coming from Barry.
He's just, talking about the mom, about how anti-mom. He's not saying anti-dad, or he's against the mom, and Barry's not even. He hasn't said anything about Barry,
right? And it's weird.
Even when him and Lydia talk, it's nothing about Barry.
It's always about the mom.
Yeah.
But then Ethan agrees to allow Kim to drive at the very end of his driveway to drop her off.
And Kim did.
And she did it.
Yep.
But whenever, because Olivia's like, oh, we can do this. It's fine. She can't hurt me, blah, blah. He agrees to it because she says so. But he looks at her because she says, are you mad at me? After he texts Lydia and tells her to do it.
And he looked at her. And
he looked very, very sad at her. And then just walks away. And I'm just like...
He did this for her.
He always goes with her.
Yeah, he did a whole family thing, I'm not going to talk to mom and dad, the siblings, blah, 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 for her. Okay, now if she comes around and be like, well, I don't care, she can't hurt me. It's like, I just, they're estranged to me now because of...
Yeah, the last year and a half. Yeah. And now all of a sudden it's okay.
So he's confused. And I understand.
I don't blame him.
I understand why.
And then it shows Olivia says she plays solitaire when she's stressed. And I'm like, what happened to that $2,500 piano that you're supposed to play when you're stressed? Yeah. I've never, other than that one time.
Yeah, when she got pissed because Ethan was doing it.
Yeah, I've never seen her touch the piano. Like,
yeah.
Just.
If I was Ethan, I put that boat right on it.
Right?
He might have destroyed that boat because he hates his parents. We never seen anything about that.
And then so when Kim dropped Lydia off at the very end of the driveway, which we all agree was dumb.
Well, I mean, she did what, at least she did what they wanted her to do. she didn't be like, well, I'm the mom. I'm going
And
to drop
she
her off
has
right up here.
consistently
Yeah.
respected the boundaries that they put up. Again, on camera, we don't know what happens off camera or when they're not filming, but she's consistently but respected everyone's boundaries.
Yep.
Micah and Mariah, Ethan's. And she's just, she's a mom. She loves her kid. She misses him. And she just wants everything to be better. And then poor Lydia shows up right after all this. And of course, there's a lot of that tension from them in the air.
Yeah.
And she even says, she's like, I feel awkward because I haven't seen, she doesn't really know Olivia anymore. She hasn't seen them in a
One year
very,
and a half.
same thing with Ethan, but he's her brother and kind of like that hero worship thing, like we talked about. But she knows how Olivia feels about her parents, and that makes her feel very awkward.
Well, we also know why she, thinks of Ethan as a hero, because he was like a father figure to her when she was little. I don't know if you've seen that part on there.
Well, the oldest child almost always gets to be the third parent. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes the second kid too, depending on maturity level and how many and whatever. Yeah. I was on my dad's side, I was the oldest child, but on my mom's side, I was the second child, but the oldest girl. So that put me more in charge of household duties,
Yeah. So stereotypical.
Things like that. So, like,
just like the whole thing with Lydia, she's in charge of the chores. It's like, come on, this isn't the 1960s.
Well, again, that was before, and that was the only footage they showed of her.
I know everybody does it that way. Yeah.
And at this point, I want to strangle Olivia when she says that cutting ties with his siblings was, quote, so detrimental and hard.
For who?
And I'm just like, you have no feelings. You don't care about these kids at all, I don't think. Because again, she doesn't really know them anymore. Yeah. It's been a very long, kids grow and change so fast. And I'm just like, I want to choke her a little bit because
no,
she's the reason
that
there's no contact.
No.
I just I don't.
And the
yeah,
villain.
You know me, I'm a little OCD about a lot of things, but no one Googled or checked to see if the dealership was open when Ethan took Lydia to look at trucks.
Yeah,
during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thought,
that's right. That's right. This is during COVID.
So I'm thinking, it's just an excuse to hang out. She's like, oh, I don't care. I just want to look around anyway.
And this is an excuse to get away from her. Olivia, I think.
Yeah, anything to get out of the house and away from her. And again, Lydia seemed much happier to be with Ethan than he seemed to be with her.
Yeah.
And like they said, Ethan has lost his joy.
He made it look like it was a chore.
Yeah, like everything with him it seems to be a chore because he's always like constantly got all this shit on his mind. Yeah. And you notice how anytime she asked him anything, he gave very neutral, non-committal answers.
Well, at least on the camera.
Because he doesn't want her telling the parents anything. Yeah. Which is stupid because it's a small town. You have social media. It's gonna get out.
You're on a TV show.
And we find out that Lydia and Ethan have been texting for a while, which is nice to know.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cute that she asked his advice about the boys he likes. Little bro advice. What do you think?
I think she's looking for advice from anybody at this point in time, other than her mom, because she knows she's not going to agree with her mom's advice or her dad's. Just her siblings.
I think it was very.
And she asked Mariah too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was very telling when Ethan told Lydia, pretty much everyone is not what they seem. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So
that means you trust no one really.
And he put Olivia in that phrase. Mm-hmm. Subconsciously.
And then he says he has no regret about getting married young. But he knows Olivia regrets getting married so young. And no wonder the dude has lost his joy. She has browbeaten him into a shadow of who he used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. The first season, he was always smiling.
Even part of the second
Yeah,
season.
when they went to L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mariah comes out because this is all happening in Mariah and Mike's driveway. And they chat for a while, and then Ethan leaves, and poor Ethan needs a new vehicle or a new truck or something.
Can't TLC give him something?
I mean, but he spends all his money on his old cars, you know?
That's a TV show. Can't TLC just let him rent one?
Something. This poor guy.
I mean, I know it makes it more interesting to see the whole like real life aspect of it, because
That's his real life.
it is.
He cares more about his passion for old cars than he cares about the one that he's actually driving around
No,
in.
he did like the one he was driving in California, though. He did like that one, the Mustang.
Yeah.
Was it a Mustang?
I don't know what it was. It was a convertible.
Convertible. It was a convertible. That's what I meant to say.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, and it was a newer convertible. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he liked that a lot.
And then it shows Mariah and Olivia going for ice cream.
I knew this was gonna be bad as soon as I seen Mariah and Olivia together. Olivia to anybody's bad.
Olivia tries to take on the mother role to Mariah, and I think that's kind of sick and wrong. If she was trying to be a big sister kind of thing, but she's trying to weasel in on
The parents.
the parents and push the parents out. And
no, it's not because she likes and loves Mariah. It's because she has an alternative.
well, and Mariah has a hero worship going on for Olivia, like Lydia does for Ethan. It's hero worship because she got her brought her out in the world and all this other stuff, and she was her inspiration and blah blah blah. But Olivia asks Mariah, "Did your mom ever talk to you about sex?"
And she knows the answer to that. Why would she even ask?
Because she wants to get to the point, which is, Mariah says, one time she did, but that was after I figured it out. And then they laugh, And then Mariah asked Olivia if her parents did the talk, and Olivia said no, except for save yourself for marriage.
Yeah, because she said her dad would consider she be considered a prostitute.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mariah thought that when you sleep together, like if you fall asleep on the couch together, you're going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Like,
she was laughing.
Yeah. And then Olivia asked Mariah.
That's one way to keep your kids from sleeping with the opposite sex, right?
That's true.
On that same couch.
Don't even sit in the same thing because you might get knocked up.
Love seat or nothing. No.
Don't use the same toilet.
Nope. Nope. Don't use the same toilet.
And then Olivia asked Mariah if she's using birth control. Mariah very quickly just said, "Yep," and then that was it. Yeah. Like, moving on. Because that's really embarrassing on camera. Why would that had to be contrived by the producers?
I think Mariah would have to be if she wants to have the career.
Basically, she wants to know if they're having sex.
If she wants to have the career that wants to have,
yeah,
she has to have birth control at this young of age. Because she'll never have the career that she wanted.
No, it's just basically she wouldn't know if they were doing it.
Yeah. Why didn't she just say that, right?
Because
around the bush.
Because she don't want to be seen as nosy.
Well, she's already seen that way.
She's just really good at getting what she wants in a very roundabout way.
There's millions of viewers out there that have their own opinion of her.
And then, wait, this is where it all gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mariah then asked Olivia if she uses birth control, and Olivia said no.
Yeah.
Because of the side effects. And I get that. A lot of women cannot take birth control. I get that.
Maybe that was her issue in season 1.
And that she was happy and nice.
Olivia wasn't. Olivia was...
Season 1, they were all happy and nice.
She was still behind the scenes trying to get Ethan away from his parents.
But she's not like she is now.
No.
Constantly criticized.
Maybe that's why she was like in season 2 then. Maybe that's the reason why.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then she says that at one point she'd had a miscarriage, and she and Ethan were both relieved.
I don't think Ethan... Maybe the miscarriage was recent. Okay, because maybe this might be also another tell of why Ethan is the way he is right now.
Could be.
Because maybe he wanted that kid.
I don't see Ethan as the type of person who would ever be glad that his child died. Exactly.
No, you're 100% correct. Olivia, on the other hand, I don't know how, and I don't think she is, because if she is, this proves everybody's point that she's a heartless little bitch then. If that's the case, if she's relieved about the miscarriage.
Well, there's a lot of people who do not want children, and if they accidentally got pregnant, they would be relieved that they had a miscarriage.
But that's. I mean,
But in this instance, when you're married, and okay, yes, they were young,
Mhm.
they got a lot of issues.
And she can still be a photographer pregnant.
Um, I don't know.
I mean, it's not going to affect her career if she was pregnant, is what I mean.
Right.
She's not going to be an actress.
No, but it'll affect the fact that she wants to travel and do all these things.
She can do that when the baby's old enough.
I'm
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I'm
No.
just saying that's what
No, we're not
her
about
thing.
disagreeing with you at all. I just got this attitude.
Mariah had already known about the miscarriage. They already talked about it, and she knows that their relationship isn't quote unquote isn't great. But I think I really respect and admire Mariah for the fact that she doesn't get involved.
Yeah, she stays with herself.
You know, she's like she listens to her and she's like, oh my god, you know, and it can,
Not yet. I'm not.
and you know, is there for her,
Yeah.
but doesn't take sides with Ethan, and really doesn't involve herself in the relationship with parents either. So she basically just is like a sounding board
Yeah.
for Olivia, and that's a really hard place to be. Really, really tough, especially if you're trying to stay neutral with everyone.
Yeah.
So hats off to Mariah for this one. And I think Ethan's saying his best friend is Jack from that auto shop. And he's like old enough to be his dad at least.
Or granddad.
And I think it's really cute because they're very, very similar. And so he's kind of like found like a simpatico buddy who's like actually gets where he's at and where he's coming from.
Well, you know, I kind of can relate to that. You know, because there used to be this older man. He could have been
Junior. Are you talking about?
No, not Junior.
Oh.
No. His name was Alvin. He used to work at this tracker place next to us in Catawissa.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And we'd go for walks, you know, we'd eat potatoes with skins on them and everything. And
how old were you?
I was single digits because I wasn't
preteen. And your parents knew you were just off walk on with a strange man?
No, they knew him. No, they knew him too. He was a really nice guy. I mean, the tractor place was right next door to our house.
Okay.
Okay. It was closer than our neighbor is to us right now.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
That's how close it was. So I'd go over there every day.
Yeah.
You know, and watch them do their thing, watch them work. And yeah, I would go to his house with him and his wife, and we'd walk in the woods. So I understand. I can relate to the whole Ethan thing, having and like
an older mentor.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Especially when he has issues with his dad.
Right. Yeah. He needs somebody.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, that's what we're here for. We just go with the flow." Ethan said that the last month he's had more conflict, or there's been more conflict with Olivia than usual.
I see the divorce slowly happening.
And I'm just like, I wonder why that is because she's pushing the moving thing, and it's got to be that because that's all she talks about this episode. And he works on the cars to kind of get away from the nagging, I think, and what he considers the conflict because they don't agree.
Yeah.
And so he can think about things. Not only is it getting away from that situation so that he can have the quiet to think, but he loses himself in it so that it's like a calming therapy. At the same time, it gives him time to think.
Yeah. He gets away from her.
Because I'm kind of that way. I'm not good with change, but if something is changing and you give me news, I have to have 15, 30 minutes to kind of think it through.
Yeah.
So that I can have a decent reaction. Because me and change. I'm just like, what? No. So I need a minute to adjust my mindset, figure, really think it through.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that, but I don't leave the house and go do something else to do that. I just go and have a moment,
We need a bigger house. We have a special room for that.
Right. The thinking room. And of course, says he's not looking forward to moving. And working on the cars, he says, makes him feel good about himself.
Yeah.
So that's his one source of confidence where he knows he's awesome and he can make it better.
Yeah.
But he worries about where to put his cars when they move. And that is a valid concern. Because if you're not living right there, you either have to pay someone for storage or, and paying for storage is expensive.
And when I think Olivia looks at these houses, I don't think she thinks of that. She does, but I don't. No, I know. I'll get that to the end there. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm saying in general, I don't think she really care. Or she might think about it, but I don't think she cares about it. To be honest with you.
Kind of like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Kind of like, I want this, so Ethan's gonna have to deal with it.
That's usually how it happens.
Yeah.
And then it shows Micah, he had to ride a four-wheeler
Oh
to
yeah.
his parents' house because he lost his license for speeding.
I couldn't. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew that?
First he crashed
A
it. Now he
20-year
can't even
old.
drive it. Imagine that, a
He must be going
20-year-old,
really fast.
right?
It has to be 20 plus, right? Is that
At
the general
least,
rule usually in
maybe
states?
even, yeah, at least, maybe
So
even 30.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
But
anyway,
it's his 20th birthday, so he came home for his little party, which was cute. But he says no licenses hurt his dating life. So boo hoo, you can't
I'm
be
sure
be a man
Helena.
whore because you lost your
I'm sure
license.
Helena would drive over and pick him up if he needed something.
Probably. And it's nice to hear that he's been hanging out at home. Probably because of proximity and whatever. Because again, it's COVID, you can't date, not much to do.
That's true. That'd be the best time to lose your license, I think, wouldn't
But exactly. But it's nice that, he uses that time to go home and reconnect with the
it?
family.
Yeah.
He could be doing a lot of other things. There's a lot of crap to
Oh yeah.
entertain yourself with.
During
So
COVID?
we managed for a year and a half to do nothing.
No, I'm saying you said you could do a lot of things, and I'm like,
Well, yeah, you can do hobbies. He can work on his guitar. He can, work on his
and
acting.
he is doing all that.
So I mean, it's like there's lots of stuff he can entertain himself with. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to go home. And then Kim even says that they're not putting their requirements on them, and she wants them to know that and give the same respect back. That's exactly what it's been from the beginning.
Yeah.
Respect me and my rules in my home, or don't live here. That's your choice. But then once you're out of the house, I understand that, you're not, in my household, we're not responsible for you. So those rules don't apply. And even though we would like you to be respectful of how you present those things around our younger children, we don't have an issue with you doing what you do.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how that hasn't gotten back to them.
Maybe it has, but I don't think he's at a headspace right now. He doesn't care.
He's
His,
just angry.
his parents are the villains. He likes
Yeah.
Olivia's chopsticks,
Oh,
and that's it.
oh my.
Ethan's at a headspace right now where nothing's gonna help.
True, probably. Unless Olivia's saying, "Hey, I love it here. We can stay here forever."
And Lydia can't help him. All right, his siblings won't be able to help him. Heck, if Micah can't help him either.
It's all about Olivia, and
Yeah.
Olivia won't let him be happy.
And I don't
And she's
think,
never happy with
and
anything.
I think I think he's pretty much mentally done with Olivia.
You think so
I do.
already?
Yeah. Well, it's not already. I mean, I think this has been going on for.
Because he's like you. He's super duper loyal. I mean,
So,
it takes a lot.
There's a breaking point. I mean, he took.
You
she
still love
took
the
him.
Eagles and the Phillies.
There's difference between sports and.
It's a joke.
No, I know. But I mean, there comes a breaking point
No, I agree.
with the mentals of a person
I agree.
when it comes to
Totally.
another person. So
But then they went back to a little bit of a lighter mood where it was the treasure hunt for Micah's birthday
I
gift.
thought it was gonna be something like a prank.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna be all that money.
I think it was fun.
That was a good idea. Yes.
I thought it was super cute that Mercy gave him all of her birthday money.
I'm hoping he gave her some back, if not all of it back, to Mercy. And you keep the rest.
At this
be like
point,
Mercy.
not being able to work and stuff with COVID, you probably really literally needed it to pay his rent and the fines and stuff for.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had to go to a driving class in order to get his license back.
because he can't be modeling right now.
And that's very
Yeah.
expensive to lose your license.
It's amazing that coffee shop, that cupcake place was open now.
I think a lot of times the production company contacts him and is like, hey, if we pay you, $500, will you open and let us film there?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And there's free publicity.
Or like, hey, it's free publicity. Maybe you'll get more. Like, maybe I don't pay him anything. I don't know how that works. But I thought that the treasure hunt was super fun. And it was Kim's idea.
Yeah.
I mean, and that made Micah feel special that they took all that effort and energy to like do that special for him.
And the thought of it too.
Yeah.
To sit there and think about what can we do to make Micah's birthday special.
Especially with all the drama he's
Yeah.
got right now. And I think it's important to note that we still think of the little girls as little because we never see them. But at this point, Amber is 12 Cassie is 9, and Mercy's 8. So they're not the littles anymore.
So
They're the middles.
Mercy is the youngest. And
Yes.
she's the one that gave him the 25.
I think it was 20.
No, it was 25.
Was it?
It was 25, yeah.
Oh, well, either way,
she
she
gave
gave
him
him
the
all
most.
her birthday money.
Yeah, because she's like, I gave you the most.
Cute. I think that involving them in it was just super. You made it a whole family special event. You know, it was nice.
You know, and I really hope this show lasts, say, 10, 12 seasons, so we can all see how the little ones grow up.
And that's exactly, I think, what TLC is thinking at that
Yeah.
point, because with 9 kids, you got lots of different characters. If ones get older and grow out of it or get boring or whatever, we got a replacement right here and ready
You
to
got
go.
a real life Brady Bunch right in front of your face.
Right? Or the, what are they called? The
Partridge Family.
There you go.
Actually, yeah, they're actually more like the Partridge Family.
They
Honest with
do
you.
music
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, except they didn't have that little weird van.
Well, there's too many of them for a van.
Well, how many was Partridge Family?
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
No, that was way before your time.
So then we go back to Gloomville, and Olivia's looking at.
I was hoping we could avoid that part.
I know. It's looking at rental houses by herself because wants to push Ethan into moving.
Now,
That's my opinion.
I missed where she was at. Where was she at? Looking. Did they give the city?
I think it was in Florida.
So it was like Tallahassee where she wants to go?
Probably somewhere in that.
And now they want to rent now instead of buy.
Well, no.
She did say that.
Yeah, because they don't know where they're going to end up.
Yeah, so she might not be in Tallahassee right now. She just might be somewhere like a town an hour away or something like that. I didn't catch, because they always say where they're at.
Yeah, I was writing.
And I didn't catch that part. So sorry,
but
everybody.
Olivia loves it, of course, but it has nothing, literally nothing on Ethan's wish list. So of course she knows it's a no-go.
I didn't like it.
It was very generic, I thought. Very,
Yeah, I mean, it's better
very
than what
cookie cutter
better than
from
what
this
we're
day.
You know,
The blah, light gray, and everything.
but there was no like dividing the living room and the kitchen. It was all like the same thing.
Well, yeah, it's open concept is
Like
what a lot of people like nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a kind of like an open concept. We have like a little bar separating it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still have like an open, kind of open there.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
That
A lot of
was all
people have those giant islands, and they use that as the separation.
and that won't be bad. But that was just too open for me.
Okay. Well, that's the house review from Papa.
Yeah. So when we go look at places again,
And she's very clearly getting frustrated with Ethan dragging his feet about moving. I mean, she's just like, I'll just do it myself then. That's it.
maybe he doesn't want to move, Olivia.
Well, we know he doesn't want to move. He says it every episode. So
Maybe you should ask him why, Olivia.
right. But that was the end of season 3, episode 3, and now we're gonna cover the extras. And this one is Kim's story.
Yeah.
And a lot of it we know from the things that they said in the house.
I personally thought this was boring. By the way.
Oh my gosh. She feels that they gave the kids a natural and simple upbringing, and it gives them time to think. You know, like other kids are like scheduled all 24/7. And
Now, can I say something real quick?
yeah, of course.
Okay, I might have said this before in a couple episodes or whatever, but I mean, she had the right to screw up when she was a kid, right? She was a partier. Okay, yeah, I know her mom was an alcoholic. Yada,
You
yada.
haven't got that far.
Okay.
You're way ahead of me.
No, I'm talking about how she's raising the kids. Now,
Yeah.
she said this before, but she
Yes.
was wild. All right,
Yes.
it's not new. Okay, but she's not giving her kids that opportunity to screw up in their lives. I think everybody, for them to flourish and become who they are down the line,
Says
they
the
need to screw
guy
up.
who is the most overprotective parent that I know.
But no. We let our kids do whatever they want usually.
Not
Legally.
when they were younger. No, you didn't.
No, but when it be like when Mercy and all them become like teenagers, early teens, I should let them go when if they want to have a boyfriend, let them have a boyfriend.
Oh, you would not let the girls have a boyfriend that age. I'm just saying.
This isn't about me, okay?
Okay,
This is
sorry.
about our family.
Sorry.
This is about the show.
Okay.
I wasn't a big partier like or a big prostitute, I guess, like you say, like Kim was back in the day.
No, but when you lived at home and you were, over 18, they had rules that we both thought were ridiculous
Yeah, here I am.
at the time.
Here I am, 1,000 miles away.
No, I'm just saying, at the time, we thought it was ridiculous. But now that we're older, we can look back at the rules and be like, okay, there were reasons for them. And so
There are
maybe.
still rules my parents had that I still think were ridiculous.
No, I know.
That hasn't changed.
And then, she and Barry would get to go on walks, like the long walks, and just catch up with each other in the day.
Sweet.
Right? No, she didn't become a Christian until she was in college. And Barry was a church acquaintance for about a year before, like, I guess they really noticed each other, like we talked about in the last
Yeah.
extra. And they did not kiss until they were married, which I think is very well. They were only like engaged for like 3 months, so it's not a very long wait. But
Very old-fashioned.
because I think they had agreed that that was how they wanted to live, and that was so starting right then, they were going to live that way, which is nice, I think, you know. She says,
He was already married once before her.
right, which
Yeah.
is a bombshell I didn't know about. She was born on Long Island, New York. Her parents lived in an apartment, but when she was a couple months old, they bought a houseboat, and for the first 4 to 5 years, they lived on the water.
They're fishermen.
And her parents were drunk a lot, but then they got divorced when
They
she
call it
was
the boat.
2 or 3 years old. And she never really got to know her own dad. She said he would visit maybe once a year or so, not for very long, and I guess eventually that even fell off.
Yeah.
And then her mom was an alcoholic and stayed pretty drunk until she was 14.
I know. I did see that she had to do grocery shopping when she was 8 on her own.
Yeah,
I did see that.
yeah, I got notes on that here coming up. Then her mom remarried, and she said she finally had a dad.
Mhm.
And when she married Barry, she changed her middle name to her stepdad's last name when she changed her last name to Plath, and she presented it to him for Father's Day. And he cried because he was an orphan in Boston and he never got adopted, and so he felt like she adopted him.
Do you know Mary and Barry rhyme?
Okay.
I just caught that when you said that. Married Barry.
Oh my, you are really like loopy today. Okay. And of course, she says she wanted better for her kids and all that stuff she went through. And she admits, like you said, she was wild when she was young, and she wanted to not prohibit her kids from doing those things, but to protect them from doing those things. Because, like she said, she would wake up on a lawn somewhere and not know how she got there. That's scary and dangerous. You know, going goodness, what could have happened to her? You know. And she says kids today focus on what they don't have instead of what they do have. And I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
The thing is not just kids though. It's everybody.
Everybody.
It's like this entire world has become all about the next big thing, the newest thing, you know, and everything becomes disposable, and that includes people sometimes.
Yeah.
And people need to get out of that habit. You need to fix what's broken,
definitely-
not replace it.
You're right, especially when you said people disposable.
Yeah,
That's jobs in general, right there.
true. It's very true. Employers feel that way about a lot of their employers.
Yeah.
Kim says that it takes a lot to ruffle her feathers. She had, growing up the way she did, she had to become a problem solver, and she had to learn to manage her emotions. And she talks about her problems and wants to work things out, especially with the older kids. I think that's me too. Like with Lizard's mental illness, Mallow's depression,
Which is mental illness.
your
Mental illness.
and diabetes, and everybody's moods everywhere all the time.
And yours.
I have to learn to speak and have my face very neutral despite what I'm feeling and whatever's going on in my mind. So I get that. And also, when I was little, I had to learn to do it because if you had a weird look on your face, my mother would smack it off your face.
Don't have any weird looks on your face then.
Right? You learn to be neutral.
Yeah.
And then
Just have the Barry look.
the one thing I don't agree with when she comes to her own kids is even though little kids have to do their own laundry, and at this point, that would be Cassia and Mercy, right? The two littlest ones.
Yeah.
And at this point, the interview, they were like 5 or 6, and maybe maybe 6 and 7.
Yeah, that's too young.
I don't think that's an appropriate chore to give a child that age. I just don't.
Dusting.
Vacuuming, sweeping.
Yeah, I mean, kind of vacuum, I guess.
Maybe. I don't even know if I trust them with dishes.
No dishes. No dishes. Dusting would be the safest thing, I think.
Now, because Lizard was always so small, her job a lot was taking the clothes out of the dryer,
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
you know, and like moving it or scooting it wherever, you know, it needed to be. So, I mean, things like that I can see with laundry, but actually doing the whole process, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Just about this family, it bothers me a little bit.
What?
They don't have a pet. I know they have a litter box, but you never see a cat. When I said it's in a litter, I'm like, what? How do you got a litter box for?
Yeah,
Have you ever seen a cat or a dog? I've never seen a pet.
I don't recall. I was never really paying that much attention.
No, I didn't either
But-
until they mentioned litter box.
But here's the thing, though. Up until this point, they had horses.
Oh, true. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. They had horses, cows, yes.
And yeah, and they had
Yes, okay,
chickens and
okay.
things like that. Moving into
yes.
town, and having less children at home, I think before there was no real capacity for indoor pets, you have to take.
I forgot about the farm.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's. And I do agree with one more thing she said. She said people don't read enough these days, and I am a
No, they're banning books.
avid reader. I love to read. You are not so much a reader.
No, I mean, I don't want them banning books.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But she's
and
right. You do got to read. I'm just too old to read now.
at the end, I think she said it perfectly. We're not perfect, but we do the best we can.
Yeah, it's true.
And at this stage, it looks like that's true because it looks like they're actually making changes, and we know more. I think when you understand someone's background, you know a lot more about what they're who they are and how they react today. And I think it's so interesting to find all this stuff out. So, and I hope you guys find it interesting too.
You know, I used to read sporting news.
Okay.
That's all you said I never read. I mean,
Oh.
yeah. And TV guides,
Yeah.
back when I had those things. They
Okay.
don't have those things anymore.
Okay, old guy. Anyway, we will be back
Let me
very
I
soon.
gotta put my teeth back in.
Oh my God. We will be back very soon with Welcome to Plathville Season 3, Episode 4.
Subscribe.
Please be kind, y'all, and pray for me because I got all this to. This is my day with him.
Subscribe.
Help me. Help.
Subscribe.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.